I say, what is the only extant member of the family Phascolarctidae? You say koalas. What is the only extant member of the family Phascolarctidae? What is the only extant member of the family Phascolarctidae? What is the only extant member of the family Phascolarctidae? That's right, koalas. This video is about koalas. So, koalas. In case you didn't get it from the cold open, this video was about koalas. I know it might seem like poor taste to make a comedy video about koalas when 90% of their population has been exterminated due to the forest fires that recently struck their native habitat in Australia. But I think now is probably the best time because there's something about them that I think inspires this protective desire in people, and maybe really driving the point home that they truly are one of the stupidest animals on the planet, intelligence-wise, will maybe make people more likely to want to donate and support the cause, to rescue them. Koalas are actually very, very stupid. They look cute and cuddly. The reason, they're commonly known as koala bears is due to their passing resemblance to a teddy bear. And they may as well also be filled with stuffing because there's nothing going on in their heads. They are born in the embryonic stage. You'd have to be an idiot to be born in the embryonic stage. It means that you're like a little nub of nothing. They start out drinking their mother's milk and then graduate to fecal pap, which is basically shit, with the nutrients still. Fortified shit, essentially, is what that is. They only eat eucalyptus, which many people may know bears almost no nutritional value to any animal, including themselves. It may seem like an evolutionary advantage to be the only animal that eats it, until you realize that their biology has not adapted to be able to properly process and digest it, which means they basically have zero energy any of the time, and they're constantly eating. They spend 90% of their time sleeping, 23 hours a day sleeping, and the 24th hour is spent eating. That being said, they have the physical, muscular, and skeletal ability to run as fast as a jackrabbit, although the chances of you seeing that are probably very slim. The forest fires, as they ran for their lives, was probably the first time in generations of koalas that any koala had moved more than a few feet in an hour. They're highly territorial, although they spend much of their life without ever seeing another koala. They just sort of call out warnings, like, two opposing sports teams fans from one side of the field to the other. They'll scream all day, but what are the chances that one of them gets up off their butt, goes all the way over to the other side of the field, and actually starts a fight? It's pretty low. And that being said, they also have the same intelligence level as those exact kind of people. Call them the people who get drunk and are covered in face paint and pretend like they're gonna start a fight at a small-time sporting event of the animal kingdom. So yeah, I want to talk about koalas. I was actually told, I remember in grade 8, that I bore a passing resemblance to a koala. Here, I'll let you decide for yourself. Apparently, if I was to be another animal, I would be a koala. At the time, I didn't know whether or not I should take that as a compliment or not, because they are known to be cute. So it could have been this person was saying I was cute. But it could also have been saying that I was an idiot with tiny eyes and a huge, huge nose. So it's really one of those two. But I haven't really decided yet at this point in the video where I'm gonna go with it. I don't have anything lined up. Maybe I'll find a video on YouTube to react to. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I found this video. Koala gets kicked out of tree and cries. And if you're one of the 25,843,115 people that have already seen this video since its upload date of January the 2nd, 2016, please refrain from spoiling it for the rest of us. This is my first time watching it, and we're going to react to it together. So let's go. So already 5 seconds in, you can tell that they're just really, really stupid. Shrieking in that whiny, pathetic voice, snorting at the same time. It's almost impressive. If you tried to whine as high-pitched as you can and also snort in a low, sort of disgusting grunt, I'm sure what would happen is that you would have a brain aneurysm. But koalas can pull it off without even thinking about it. And I know they can pull it off without thinking about it because I know they're not thinking about anything. This guy's just like, where am I supposed to find another tree? It's not like there's trees literally everywhere. I've been kicked out of my tree and now I'm destined to die, which is probably true. I bet he's too dumb to find another tree, even though we saw in the opening shot that there's trees all around, judging by the leaves in the ground and the other tree that was in the shot. Look at this pathetic moron. He just thinks that if he whines and whines, and he's going to get his way. That doesn't work in nature. You can't just cry and whine and hope that things will work out. That only happens to us people. If you're a koala, you gotta pick yourself up by your earmuff-like ears. His ears look like those earmuffs that some people wear when they want to pretend that they have large patches of mold growing on either side of their heads. Anyways, that's beside the point.
Yeah, poor little thing's kicked out of the tree. You can come to our tree.
Yeah, you come to our tree.
Poor little...
Look at that. The koala that was in the much better position immediately slid down half the tree, losing the high ground in the process, completely putting themselves at a disadvantage in this battle of the titans. So I guess we'll just see what happens next. Considering the performance of the currently top koala in the first round, I predict that the bottom koala will still have a slight advantage. But we'll have to see what happens next. Well, what do you know? Little loser, whiny, pea pants, little nerd koala loses again. This is just indicative of them as a species. Neither of them come out of this video looking too good. The victorious koala obviously looks a bit better, but I can't say that its fighting style was anything to be admired, whereas the second koala is just ridiculous. You notice how as soon as the people started talking before it shut up? It's because it knows exactly what it's doing. It's whining and whining until it gets what it wants, because that's the only way it knows how to survive. It's not even... For a non-domesticated animal, they certainly do like to appeal to authority, because they understand, if they do understand anything at all, that they are not capable for ensuring their own survival whatsoever. Before I continue any further, just note that I've realized that I forgot to make my bed, but it is the wee hours of the morning, and I need the unmade bed as a constant reminder that I should be in the bed, asleep, rather than making YouTube videos. With that out of the way, let's just get to what this video is really all about. So I'm just going to move myself right in the center of the screen so I can address you directly. I know it's very easy with the way the world is, with the big, the big germ infestation going around. But it's important that we don't succumb to the rapid turnover rate that media and general cultural interest seems to follow. And we still remember that the devastation the Australian forest fires caused, it hasn't gone away overnight just because another thing's happening. And that's not to say that we shouldn't be concerned about the current predicament, nor is it saying that we should divert resources away from the current predicament to fix what happened previously. What I am saying is try not to forget about things that have happened just because one other thing is going on. Don't forget about societal issues just because some new thing may be taking precedence in the media, the news, and the world around you, conversation. Everywhere you look, you may only see one thing. Don't forget about the forest fires. Don't forget about global warming, which is tied to forest fires. Don't forget about, minimum wage. Don't forget about problems with how politicians handle things. Don't forget that there's discrimination among people of, minority groups. Don't forget about the big issues that really affect us on a daily basis just because one thing seems to be the most important. Because people who don't want you to think about those issues or who benefit from those things being swept under the rug use massive panic as a means to distract the general population from looking at every issue simultaneously by directing this sort of anger, fear, confusion in one simple direction. And not saying that what's happening right now doesn't deserve a lot of attention, because obviously it's something that is unprecedented in so directly, obviously, and clearly affecting so many people. What I am saying is that we have the means to help ourselves, and koalas don't. Due to the fact that they're stupid, very physically incapable of a whole lot of movement or effort, and also cannot acquire the basic necessities of survival that they may have. And it's important to remember that a lot of places that are keeping koalas and other Australian wildlife from going extinct may also be affected by the current predicament state of the world. And now, if you're someone who happen to have, a little bit extra cash floating around, a little extra cash in your pockets, first off, just let me know if you want to donate to me. But second of all, and perhaps slightly more importantly, I would look into sending that money to Australian charities that directly help rehabilitate and look after various wildlife that may have escaped or been rescued from fire-affected areas. I think that's a worthy cause. So, with that being said, protect the koalas because they're too dumb to protect themselves. So, I know this video may not have ended on a funny note per se, but a few of my friends requested I made a video about koalas, and this seemed like the video that I would most like to make. So, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I've been having a lot of fun the last couple of days making these YouTube videos. So if you're one of the few people that has watched, whether you're one of my friends or an acquaintance or even some stranger that I don't know, thanks for giving them a watch. It it brightens my day. Anyways, bye.